Hey there and welcome. Today we're going to be talking about the functional trainer seated row, and we're going to be taking a neutral grip when it comes to our hand position. This is an incredible exercise for those who are trying to train their back, and I highly recommend you guys do it. First thing you're going to want to do is set up your cable height to, I would say, hip height or a little bit lower than that. And then you want to make sure that you put your rotation arm between a 2 and a 4, depending on your shoulder width. You want to basically right at your shoulder width when it comes to the width on each side. Then you want to make sure you choose the appropriate weight. You can do 20 repetitions comfortably and then slowly start to increase the weight every other week or so. Then once you do that, you want to make sure that you're sitting on a bench or something comfortable or box. And then you want to make sure you're sitting up nice and tall. You do not want to be rounding over or leaning over. You want to sit up directly upward. And then you want to make sure that you allow your scapula to move freely, so allow full range of motion, fully extend and fully contract with your chin tucked. But before we continue with more tips, here's a word from today's video sponsor.
I'm today's video sponsor, and if you'd like help losing fat or gaining muscle, there are a few ways I can help you down below. Either set up a free consultation with us, purchase through one of our free affiliate links, or purchase one of our instant access affordable training programs. Can't wait to be of service to you. Now let's get back to the rest of the video.
And this key when it comes to doing this exercise, or any row for the most part, is going to be scapular retraction and protraction. So you allow the scapula to move freely instead of locking it in place and just moving your arms. So basically what I mean by that is allowing your shoulders to come forward and then driving your shoulders back when you're bringing the weight back, or allowing your elbows to fully extend and then driving the elbows back. Those are going to be the main things when it comes to doing this exercise correctly. What you don't want to do is you don't want to retract your scapula and then just allow your arms to move. You're missing out on so many muscle fibers. It's ridiculous. You have to make sure that you allow the muscles to stretch and contract. The stretching portion is just as important as the contraction portion. You just have to make sure that you do them within a natural motion. So meaning, like, don't use a bunch of momentum. Don't like lean over and bend back and bend your back as you're rowing back. And I'm sure you see a lot of people doing that when it comes to doing like any seated row. Just because a lot of people do it doesn't mean it's right. And trust me, you can get incredible results doing it this way. I've only been doing it this way for the last couple of years. So I mean, my back's pretty developed, and if you're looking to get a back like this or a bigger back, then doing this exercise properly is going to be key. And granted, a lot of people who do it incorrectly usually get injured. So we obviously want to avoid injury. It doesn't matter if you can lift heavy if you don't, if you can't lift that long. And the next thing I want you guys to think about is making sure that you're doing it in a nice, slow, and controlled fashion. So notice I'm not using any momentum here. If your body moves a little bit, it's not a big deal. But you shouldn't have to like basically be shooting a Hail Mary here and just use every muscle in your body to row back. If you do the weights way too heavy and you need to lower it, also make sure that your chin is tucked and that you're looking forward. Make sure that you're not looking up, because you're going to place an unnecessary amount of stress on your neck. Here's some common mistakes that I want you to avoid. Like I said, you don't want to be leaning back while you do it. You want to make sure that your torso is as upright as possible. Also, we don't want to be doing half reps. Don't do half reps at the top or half reps at the bottom of the range. We want to make sure we're doing full reps all the time. That way we can get the most out of the exercise. Also, we don't want our elbows coming out to the sides. You can only have your elbows coming out to the sides for the most part with pronated grip. Also, like I said, keep your chin tucked. Don't look up like this. Next thing is, don't allow your neck to go forward like this. Just keep your neck nice and straight as much as possible. And then we also don't want to be rounding over like this. You want to be sitting up as tall as possible.